what brand really does work, and does fence post foam really work? And then we're also gonna build a small section of chain link fence to see how strong this stuff really is. Okay, so one thing to take into consideration that you have to deal with is you have to talk about temperature. All these foams, I just pulled them out. They were in a controlled environment. I think the room setting was probably about like 70 degrees. Right now, I'd say our temperature is probably right around, I'm gonna put the temperature probably right around like 59 degrees. So it's great. Now again, to go ahead and get this going, since I don't have a ton of help this time, we are just going to use our handy dandy little truss rods here, because one thing about foam is it's not like concrete where you can jiggle it around, raise it up or anything like that. You want to keep that bond and you want to let that foam come up the post without disturbing it. Let's talk about hole depth. Right now we're at 32 on that one, 32 on that one, and 32 on that one. So all three holes are the exact same depth. They're all the same diameter. We went with a 12-inch hole. You probably only need a 10 for this. Okay, so first up is the Fast 2K. Part A and then part B. The only thing stopping the two from mixing together is this little clip thing. And it wants us to mix for 30 seconds. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and mix for 30 seconds. I remember the last time I used foam, we actually mixed it in a bucket with a paddle, and you could actually see the mixture and you could tell when everything was mixed. So right now we can't see it, so we're just assuming, pretty much. Yummy. It is acceptable to have a cold joint on top of foam to foam. Foam is going to attach to the other foam, it's going to be just fine, so there is no question there. It looks like that one's probably going to be done now, so now we can go ahead and mix the next bag, throw it on top of that. That first bag did not go very far at all. I'm just going to go off of reaction. I'm going to go off of heat. I'm not even going to time it. We'll let it react just a little bit longer. See if we get a little bit different of reaction instead of what we got the first time, which is kind of dead. There's a sound you can hear, and it kind of sounds more like foam. But one of the things I'd like to see is I'd like to see all that foam bond together and come up equally. So we're gonna go ahead and mix yet another one. So right there, it kind of sounds a little different. It doesn't sound like a liquid, it sounds a little bit more foamy. And now it's starting to get hot, so go ahead and take that out. All right, we'll see how that one goes. That should fill the rest of that hole up, or be at least really close. And remember, that was 3 bags. So right now that foam is at 100.9 is what the temperature is at as far as the chemical reaction. 102, 106, 94. So yeah, it's like right around 100 degrees. All right, we're gonna see what happens if you don't open the bag. Like if you mix it, you forget about it, we're gonna see what happens. It's a little bonus feature. So right now I can feel that the bag is getting warm. Yeah, it's pretty warm to the touches. It's like a nice warm blanket. Now I kind of feel like it's doing something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's definitely pressuring up. I really had hopes that this thing was just gonna go boom. I don't know, kind of cool. If you mix it and forget about it, it's just gonna kind of leak all over your property. It's not gonna really blow up and go boom. And it's nice and warm like a hot sunny day. Now we're going for Sika Pro. It says to burst the seal. Watch how hard you shake it, because that just went like everywhere. All right, I don't know what to do with that because it wasn't all the way mixed, I don't feel like. We'll just see what this does. One of those bags says no mess, no mess. That's a mess. Oh, it's everywhere, dude. Well, that's cool. So 15 seconds is what they say for mix time. Maybe I was going a little too hard, I don't know. getting hotter. So the color is totally different than on this one. It's like a gray green, and then we got that thing, Old Faithful over here. Let's see what we got for a temperature on this bad boy. 114. On this back side, it looks like it's pulling away from the post. That's a little concerning, so I don't know what to think about that. That's green. When that one was yellow green, that one looks pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, they don't say anything about, hey, your bag might explode. They say not to leave it in the bag so it doesn't explode. So down here in the hole, I was talking about how it was like separating from the post right back here. You can see there's a giant cavity right there. But then all of a sudden, it's separating from the wall right here. The wall of the hole. We didn't really see that on the Fast 2K. The Fast 2K, yeah, it didn't really separate anywhere. Okay, Hank, we're ready for another bag. And I've only got 2 left, so hopefully we don't blow up another one. Yeah. Fast 2K says you gotta mix it for 30 seconds, and Sika says only 15 seconds, and it's that same color again too. So this one's still that like green, gray. Oops. It's sticky. She's still going, slowly. Look at that, it did that same thing again, that like little bleep. Which maybe that's just the way I'm pouring it in, I have no idea. And there again, you kind of see it is pulling away from the wall of the hole right here again too. That's pulling away, shrinking, I don't know what it's doing. We're 2 deep into this post and we're almost equal to the Fast 2K. We threw 3 in that one, let's throw 3 in this one, call it same. It's all in the name of science. I feel like I'm gonna blow this up on, oh no, see? Look at that, it did it. I just got done saying I feel like it was gonna blow up, and it did. That felt like 15 seconds, and that's how it came out. But it's doing things, so that's good. So as far as the post lock, oh, this stuff is just getting everywhere. I'm gonna take my ball over here. Oh, look at this, look at this. They are thinking, they send you gloves. Totally different mixing system than those two. Comes in a box, and you can actually see, that's kind of nice. The part A is obviously a smaller container, so we have to take the small container, put it in the big container. You don't take the big container, put it in the small container. No. I mean, if you do that, let me know how it works out. I can see it change colors. I'm gonna go just a little bit longer. It's easier to shake. While that one's doing its thing, I look over here at the Sika and it finally finished off. It's still tacky. On the back side here, you can still see that we got a cavity in between the post and the foam. I think it's just the way that the foam grew. I just don't really know why it keeps on happening, and it happened 3 times. A little bit of a gap here, but we kept on seeing that earlier. I'm really excited to see how this one turns out. Is it supposed to do that? Like there's no structure to it. Yeah, this is the Sika, and it just crunches like a tater chip. All right, that's better. I guess it must be better on the larger form. So we're mixing the second batch and getting ready to put it in the hole. As far as ease of use, this one's far better. Don't have to worry about it exploding on you. I'm not seeing it pull away from the post like we saw it on the Sika. It's acting very comparable to the Fast 2Ks, but I have not touched any of these posts, so I don't know how structurally sound any of them are. I've got another small half container. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up. We threw a 3 in the Fast 2K, 3 in the Sika, and we're gonna throw 3 in the Postloc as well. All right, so this video is not sponsored by any foam manufacturer. This is just a research video, but we did get the Postloc for free. So everything takes 3. Postloc, it took 3, Sika, it took 3, and Fast 2K, it took 3. I am going to say that the advertisement that they're putting on the bag, as far as 1 foam bag equals 2 50-pound bags of concrete, I don't think that's true. If it was, I think that we should have only been using about 2 bags. I don't know what to tell you there. So if you're gonna use post foam, always plan on using more than you think you're gonna need. And that's on any 3 of these. As far as mix time, Postloc and Fast 2K, you guys are about hand in hand. You're calling for 30 seconds. Sika, they're always telling you to mix it for 15 seconds and dispose of it. And their foam, I hate to tell you, I think is the weakest. We poured it about an hour ago. Just even walking on top of this stuff, it has like no structure to it. But when you get more of it together, it has structure. But there again, I don't know. I mean, as far as indentation, I can get some pretty good push there. As far as indentation on the Fast 2K, I can get a little bit of indentation there. Now Postloc, I don't know what they put in their mixture. That stuff is hard. Postloc is harder than these 2 by far. As far as hardness, this thing is hard. And it snaps. There's a different noise between that snapping and that. That has no structure whatsoever. And that I'm having to actually input a lot of force onto it. As far as that, Postloc for the win. We're gonna go ahead and wiggle all 3 of these. I can get some movement in there just a little bit. I can kind of see the whole foam move. Now, here in a second, I'm gonna really torture test these posts, but for the moment, I'm just gonna feel them out a little bit. But as far as impact, it's held in there pretty good. Sika, something's going on here. I can get more movement. It really feels like it shrunk in the hole. When we were mixing Sika, I was noticing how it felt like it was pulling away from the hole, and I think that's why I can get more movement there. But I can definitely get some movement out of that one versus this one. I can still get movement, but I can't see that foam move. Now, as far as Postloc, I'm getting the same result as the Fast 2K, but as far as Postloc, it is a harder foam. Now, we didn't want to just stop there. Before we really reef on these posts, we're gonna go ahead and put up 20 feet of commercial grade chain link fence to see if this can handle it. So I'm not gonna have enough Postloc to do all my posts. So what we're gonna do is the very first post, nothing but Postloc, and the last post, which is another pole post, is gonna be filled with nothing but Postloc. The intermediate line post is gonna have some Postloc and some Fast 2K, but as far as structural and stretching, it's not gonna have any effect whatsoever. It's really just gonna support the top rail. One thing as I start to frame this up, I'm just gonna use a top rail. I'm not gonna do a brace rail because we don't need to get that in depth. But this is all about, can you build off of post foam? We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get to the bottom of this one. I'm applying tension to the wire and then I'm sucking both posts this way. They're wanting to go in towards each other. We're gonna stretch the chain link and then we're gonna see what it looks like. This is not a residential grade chain link. This is more of a commercial grade. It's a 2-inch diamond, 9 gauge, and it's 6 foot tall. So it's gonna be pretty stout. And if you don't know anything about chain link tools, make sure and go back through and check out some of our other tool videos, and we carefully explain how these tools work. Yeah, that's about how much tension I put on it. And I would say I'm not seeing a deflection in the foam. I can see a tiny gap here. Kind of pretty sure that that was already there. I mean, there's a gap here, but if we were seeing any separation, we'd see it on the backside. Or pressure's going here. If there was any relief, it would be right here on the backside. Right now, I'm gonna say in the correct circumstances, you could build chain link fence with post foam. Now hold on. You can build fence using the proper post foam, not just any post foam. I'm not gonna say you could build one continuous run of like 1,000 feet with post foam. I'm not saying that. I don't think I would do that. I would either drive it or I'd use concrete, depending on its application. But for like a repair, absolutely. For a small run like this, sure, absolutely. And I would use the correct post foam, and it's up to you to make the decision on what that correct post foam is. This is Fast 2K, this is Sika, and this is Postloc. Here's one post. Remember when I said that it felt like it was weaker? I'm just gonna leave that right there. Huh. It almost seems like that was a seam. And that was a seam. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how I can get some of that out of there. Fast 2K feels a lot more solid than the Sika. Okay. I mean, I broke it loose within the hole, but I can't. That is in there. Let me go get a skid steer. One second. How come this one doesn't want to break? Let me try this. Got it. That's, if we did it in order, this is the Fast 2K. That's the Sika. It all keeps on snapping and it sounds like a bowl of Rice Krispies. If I was to rank these three types of foam, Sika, you know, mailboxes, I'd agree with that. Now for the Fast 2K, if you needed like a small fence post replacement, yeah, I could see that. You know, mixed properly. And that is one thing that I did discover today. And I'm really wondering if that was our issue back on the last time that I used it. But maybe a small fence post, a small something or other, you know, this is a good option. Now this guy right here, the Postloc, there was the most air bubbles in the Sika, not as many in the Fast 2K. And this, the Postloc, is just, it is a lot more dense. Obviously it's broken here and it broke there because I had cut it and then I broke it in the hole. I had to pull that thing out with a machine, and these two I could pull out by hand. Also wasn't as much foam in this one as there was in those two. Postloc is not messing around. They got something good going on here. So I think whatever they're doing it right. That brings us to the end of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stand with SWI. Hope you have a good dang day. And stay warm. Spring is right around the corner.